This past weekend had the Manitoba Air Show for the first time since 2018. Among the many acts, the Snowbirds took to the air, and we spoke with Pilot 7 Captain Dominic Apolloni, who flies in the outer left wing position, and he outlines what it's like flying with the Snowbirds.
Yeah, it's exhilarating. It's fast-paced, but it's exciting all the time. It's always a challenge, and it's really cool being part of such a close-knit team. You work for years trying to become a snowbird, getting your resume up to date with all the hours you need, and then when you join the team, we worked together for about 7 months putting it all together to put the show in front of you today. Your A game all the time. You're flying 4 feet apart from other aircraft that are flying 600 kilometers an hour, so you need to be focused, relaxed, but always focused on the task at hand. It's exciting all the time. It's a nice challenge, but you do get kind of good at it as you do it every day. At the front of the formation, the boss, Snowbird 1, he has to do all of that and look outside and fly the loops. My job is to fly off of him, so I never look inside my cockpit except for fuel and maybe check that my instruments are good, but otherwise my head is out of the cockpit for 30 minutes the entire air show. We have a 3 to 5 year window ballpark to be on the team. It's a huge commitment for you and your family, and we also want to bring new pilots into the fold. But for myself, I'm going to be moving on after this year to go fly search and rescue with the Air Force. We have so many good signature maneuvers. We have the Canada Burst. We have the Big Diamond Combo, which is a roll and a loop. And then my favorite is the line abreast combo, where 5 aircraft are wingtip to wingtip doing a roll and a loop. And then you'll also have all the solo maneuvers with the crosses head on at 1,000 kilometers an hour and the heart. It's going to be a great show. We have a huge repertoire we can pull from of 54 years of snowbird flying. So you'll see new ones to the show that you probably haven't seen, but it's all in the snowbird history books.
It's pretty complicated at sometimes, like getting all the parts in and getting everything done quickly and efficiently, especially if there's a ramp snag. So I'm part of the technician crew, so I'm an avionics technician. So we deal with all of the electronics in the aircraft. As well, we'll be working with the other team of technicians to maintain the aircraft and make sure they're safe to fly, and they're all kept. I was the AVS technician. You work closely with a small group, so getting to know people and being able to accomplish a task quickly and efficiently, it's a pretty good feeling when that gets done.
I'm the owner of SRC Air Shows. We're here doing the Rolling Thunder act that we just came out with this year. It's the plane and then the jet car, which is over here. I also pilot the airplane. Pitts S2S, big engine, a lot of changes from the other planes that you're used to seeing, different tail on it, so it can do gyroscopic maneuvers better, it's faster, can pull more Gs. In my routine, I'll pull up to 9 Gs and a -5 Gs actually in my routine. So I'll do a short routine by myself first, and then we'll light off the jet car. The jet car will come out onto the runway, and there's a whole story behind it. I'm a dragon. This is the Fury. And then the jet car is the Slayer, so it'll be the Dragon Slayer. And the Dragon and the Dragon Slayer will fight in battle. So I'll dive at him. He'll blow smoke and fire at me, and then at the end, we race. And the car will go over 300 miles an hour on the runway while we race. It is an early model Chevrolet Corvette body. It's an NHRA certified funny car, but it has a true jet engine in it. It came off of one of the U.S. military jets back in the late 50s, early 60s. So it has 6,000 pounds of thrust, and the car weighs 2,000 pounds. I flew all the way up here from Texas. Yes, I did. I don't know that in kilometers, but it was almost 1,200 miles that I flew yesterday in this. So it's a lot of kilometers. So here's the cockpit. So I have an autopilot since I fly so many miles. I put that in a few years ago because of all the miles that I fly, so that I don't have to fly all the miles, so it helps out a lot. It's all electronic cockpit, GPS, and everything's all right here. I got onboard weather and traffic and everything since I fly so much. The plane has about 40 gallons of fuel that I can take when I'm ferrying it, which is flying it cross country. When I get to the air show, we convert all the front fuel tanks to smoke tanks to make the smoke in the air, so I'll put smoke oil in those. The engine is a Lycoming 540. Your normal 540 is anywhere from 260 to 300 horse. This engine's hot rodded up. So this engine has 12-to-1 compression pistons instead of the factory ones, which were 8 or 9-to-1 compression. This engine has ported and polished cylinders on it, knife edge crank, aftermarket camshaft, cold air induction, and 6-into-1 exhaust. So it's just like taking your old hot rod engine and souping it all up. So this engine is doing about 380 horsepower. The plane weighs 1,000 pounds. So she's a pretty peppy little one. Big old 81-inch carbon or composite prop on it. So when I'm out there during the show, you'll hear this prop's actually big enough that it will break the sound barrier. So it'll have a lot of cracking and popping, kind of like the Harvards do when they take off in the T6s, that the prop makes all that noise. This little plane will actually do that too. So that's kind of cool. The plane's rated, it's in an experimental category. So we've rated this plane at 9 Gs and -6 Gs. And like I say, I do 9 and -5 in this plane. So it cruises at, I don't know what it is in kilometers an hour, but it cruises at 200 miles an hour. I'll do anything and everything in this that you've ever seen on YouTube in any airplane, pretty much. It can do all of them. So my routine, I'll do about, well, let's see. My routine, I have about 8-9 maneuvers that I'll end up doing in my routine. From tumbles to gyroscopic effects, you know, stuff that you don't normally see airplanes do. I'll dive down through the smoke. I'll disappear off in the smoke. When I get in the smoke, he'll light the fire off like he's puking me out the backside of it. So yeah, I'll dive down into him. When I go through, the plane acts like it was hit, so I'll tumble or something up in the air like the Dragon was hit. And he'll get his bearings back and then come back around for another attack.
It's a 1953 Corvette body. It's a 3-year-old built car. Got a J-34 Westinghouse in it out of a Banshee, Navy Banshee plane. Fuel, you can see the unique fuel tank. We built that out of cardboard originally and then built it to identical, this aluminum tank. 108 gallons is the capacity. We use about 100 gallons every run. The fuel tank used to have a 30-gallon round tank on it, NHRA legal, and that wasn't enough for air shows. So when we got this car in last October, we had to outfit it for enough fuel capacity to run a good air show. Aircraft radio, we changed everything over. We used to run drag races, now we're strictly air shows all across the nation. Canada, we love coming up here. Okay, what we do, we'll go in front of the crowd doing slow speed fire and smoke. Burner pops, everybody likes the noise. And then we'll go out on the runway. We corrugate with a airplane, Stephen Covington in a green Raptor Pitts, or Fury now. He'll come down and dive bomb me, do all the stuff. I'll make a circle of smoke depending on the wind, but he'll dive down in the smoke. It's a Dragon and a Dragon Slayer theme is what it is. And then we'll go out on the runway and line up and do a high speed. I usually run around 350 miles per hour. Not sure what that is in kilometers. I'm not good at that yet, but it's really high energy, a lot of fun, especially the plane race. He'll come over at 140 miles per hour. As soon as he goes over the top of me, I'll be throttled up, sitting still. As soon as he goes over the top of me, I'll light the burner, and he'll be 1/8 of a mile ahead of me, and nobody will think I'll ever catch him. And then right at show center, I'll blow under him like he's not even moving. So the crowd really loves that, and that's fun for us too. I run 2 parachutes, one emergency and one primary chute. Afterburner, it'll throw a 40, 50 foot flame out the back. That's pretty much it. It's a really safe car. This is my 5th jet car. I ran a jet truck the last 14 years, twin engine jet truck. And this is by far the safest jet car I've ever had. It doesn't look safe. You sit right beside the engine and people say, why do you do that? But it's safe, and it's probably by far the most safe car I've ever owned. I had a fire last year in the twin engine jet truck, and burned through my fire suit and lost part of my left foot. I could have the same fire in this car and I'd walk away because I'm totally isolated from the rest of the car. It turned out to be a really cool thing in the air shows. It's a Boss Hoss. It's got a 406 Chevrolet on it. We converted it over to a tow vehicle when we got this car late last year. Put all the batteries in the back. The V8, people just don't see many of the Boss Hosses. There's actually a club up here in Canada, a V8 Boss Hoss club. But really unique. We built the tow bar to tow with and put all the batteries in the trunk to start the car. It's been really popular at air shows.
It's dirty. The only vehicle that didn't get washed.